And who is the artist who has influenced you the most and why?
Do you mean music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, the music artist.
Yes, I would single out the saxophonist Cannonball Adderley as being the inspiration for me to play the saxophone. So I think that's a very big influence, and I love his style, and I like him a lot.
Our friend Moreno asks you, what is your memory of the London music scene of the late 60s when you were playing with the Alan Bound set? What was it like?
It was good. It was a very fruitful scene from about 65, 6 onwards. All sorts of people blossoming. Jimi Hendrix coming to London, the Who starting, the Rolling Stones starting, the Beatles continuing from early 60s. There was a very good, thriving club scene too. All sorts of people. And with the Alan Bound, we used to play there quite a lot. We famously played a sort of residency at the Marquee Club. That was quite a famous club on Wardour Street. Okay. And it was good in the late 60s. Things changed rapidly over the years, from sort of soul music, Tamla Motown, coming through from flower power, hippie music from San Francisco, and everything in a big melting pot, and lots of good groups. I mentioned some other groups like Traffic and Spooky Tooth and King Crimson. Genesis came up through the 60s. Loads of Pink Floyd, loads of groups. Yeah. So it was a very fruitful scene.
David Gilmour in Brother Were You Bound on the guitar. Yeah. John Helliwell in Momentary Lapse of Reason on sax. What's your impression of the intersection between the Supertramp world and the Pink Floyd world? What are the differences and the points in common between the two ways of seeing music?
We were making Brother Were You Bound, and we had this long track which is quite heavy, and we were sitting around one day thinking, right, we need a guitar solo, and then somebody said, yeah, we need a guitar solo like David Gilmour plays, something like that. So we were sitting around, and I said to them, you want a guitar solo that sounds a bit like David Gilmour? And I said, why don't we ask David Gilmour to play a guitar solo that sounds like David Gilmour? Oh yes, what a good idea. So got on the phone. He came over. Within a week or two, he was over in Los Angeles, and he played with us, which was great. His style fitted that particular number. And then the difference in styles, I think, between Pink Floyd is a bit more, airy, floating more.
Yeah,
and
I think that
Supertramp, especially then, this was after Roger Hodgson had left. Supertramp then was very much feet on the ground, quite basic, not basic music, but quite solid music. Yeah. But it was nice to have his playing. And then Dave heard my playing and listened to it. And then he was in Los Angeles doing their next album. And he must have just thought of me, I would like to have John playing on it. So it was just a small thing, really. It was just an hour or so, one evening. when I went down to the studio they were working in. It was a question of overdubbing. Okay. I was just there on my own. Although on the one of the tracks that I play on, there's two other saxophonists on that album. But I'd like to just say two things about the album. Is one, they spelt my name wrong on the album sleeve.
Really?
Two, they didn't pay me for the session.
No.
But I didn't bother about it. There's nothing I could do really. But it was funny at the time. So, but that was all right.
Oh, incredible. I didn't know this.
If you look on the album, they say John Helliwell.
Ah, okay.
David Helliwell.
This is a little curiosity. I'm curious to know if the other fans knew this.
Yeah.
Because after the success of the band, in the 90s, you decided to refine the instrument by attending a prestigious school. What pushed you toward this decision?
Right. Okay. Well, at the time in the 90s, yes, I knew that that Supertramp wasn't going to be working for a year or two, a few years maybe, and I decided that I would like to get better at playing the saxophone and music in general. So I decided to go to the Royal Northern College of Music in Manchester, and I studied the saxophone there. Yes, there was a lot to learn. I'd been in the rock business for a long time, but there I learnt to read music better, play in a big band, a jazz big band, and then also play contemporary classical music in various ensembles, and I really enjoyed it, and it was good for me to learn more. And I was when I went there, I was 49 or 48, and most of the pupils were 18. So I was a lot older.
Let's talk about your new album.
It's an album of ballads played by myself on saxophone and clarinet with a Hammond organ and a string quartet. And on this, there are two Supertramp tunes. Yeah. There's the title track, Ever Open Door, which was written by Rick. And there is also a number by Roger. I thought it was political to have one number from each of the guys. There's a number by Roger called If Everyone Was Listening, which I think is a beautiful ballad.
Play a tune by Paolo Fresu.
I play a tune by him. Yes.
And so Paolo Serra, that he lives in Sardinia and is a big fan of you, asked why you choose this.
I chose this song because I first heard it played by my friend Raimondo Mellilupi.
Yeah.
And he has
Italian friend that you have.
Yes, and I play music with him, and we make music. We've got several CDs that we've made together. And anyway, he has an album that didn't involve me playing. I think it's called 1,000 Paper Roses. I'm not sure because it's in Italian. And he has a group, and he played this number, which is called Del Soldato del Trincea. Yeah. Del Soldato in Trincea, which is it's from a film, and it's about the soldiers in the First World War, and it's a beautiful tune. So I first heard it played by Raimondo, and then I thought I would like to play it. So we made an arrangement of it. Yeah, amongst others, including the Paolo Fresu numbers and some really nice tunes. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. That's Ever Open Door.
Ever Open Door, listening in the car is beautiful. It's very relaxing.
Yeah, good. Make sure you don't fall asleep.
If if you could put your name in the credits of a Supertramp song, which song would be?
I'm trying to think. I mean, it's quite a famous and distinctive solo that I do in the logical song, for example. I think it contributes a good part to the song, even though it's just a solo for half a minute and one at the end. Trying to think of others. I didn't contribute to the writing of anything, of course, but you're just talking. You're just talking about the saxophone.
Yeah.
Part. As regards the arrangements and deciding what to do in a tune, it was always the five of us, and then everyone would put in what he thought. So. But I would say, just in terms of my contribution as a saxophone player, the logical song maybe would be the one which I would single out.
Rick Davies, Roger Hodgson, and John Helliwell. So we can say the logical song.